Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Book Bites. Today we are going to talk about a piece of history that you probably never heard about in schools. Mulakaram, also known as the breast tax of Travancore. Yes, a tax that was imposed only on a woman for covering their breast, and that too only on lower caste women. This story takes us back to the 1800s in southern Kerala when the Travancore kingdom was at its peak, ruled by the powerful kings like Raja Marthanda Varma and Swati Thirunal. But the society at that time was so deeply divided by caste that lower caste people were not even considered as human. Upper caste like Nayars and Nambotris enjoyed all the pride and privileges while the Avarnar communities like the Ezhava, Pulayar, and Parayar were denied even the basic right to enter temple or cover the upper part of their body. And that's where began the dark chapter of Mulakaram. So, what is Mulakaram? In simple terms, Mulakaram was a tax that a lower caste woman had to pay if she wanted to cover her chest. Every year, the tax collector would come to the village and each woman had to pay according to the size of her breast. Smaller breast equals to lesser tax and larger breast equals to higher tax. The payment could be made in cash, rice, or coconut. If any woman dared to wear a blouse or a cloth without paying the tax, the punishment was served, a fine or a public humiliation or even physical torture. Just imagine going to the market, fetching water, getting married, or even during pregnancy. Tax was everywhere. In fact, during pregnancy, the tax amount increases due to the size change. According to an 1850 record, one Ezhava woman had to pay 16 fanams during pregnancy. Every day was filled with the shame and oppression. And now comes our heroine Nangeli. The year was 1803 in the village of Cherthala. Nangeli was a newly married Ezhava woman. One day, the tax collector named Prabhu arrived and said, "If you want to cover your chest, you have to pay the tax." Nangeli refused. Prabhu tried to force her, order her blouse to be removed. Nangeli went inside, picked up a sackle from her kitchen, and cut off her left breast. She placed it on banana leaves soaked in blood and presented it in front of the tax collector. "Here, take your tax." The same night Nangeli died, her husband Avarnan, overcome with grief, set himself on fire, committing sati. Their sacrifice was so powerful that the news spread like wildfire across Travancore. People began to protest. A rebellion rose, and finally, in 1805, Raja Balarama Varma was forced to officially abolish the Mulakaram for lower caste. But in reality, in some villages, it secretly continued until the 1820s. The place where Nangeli lived and died, that place came to be known as Mulachi Parambu, meaning the land where the breast was cut. Even today, there stands a small memorial in her memory. Where do we get the story from? The story we got from Travancore State Manual 1906 and British missionary reports and even from Ezhava oral histories. And there are some other books like The Ivory Throne by Manu Pillai. Some historians still debate was the tax really based on size of the breast or it was a flat rate. But everyone agrees on one fact that the discrimination was real and it wasn't the only tax, there were many other tax as well. Talakaram means the head tax for men, Misakaram means the mustache tax, and Kankaram means the land tax, all targeted at the lower caste. It was a systematic operation. Today, people often get confused. Was it only in Travancore? No. Similar custom existed in Cochin and Malabar as well, though it was not as strictly implied. Did the king created this rule? Not exactly. It was a pre-colonial rule and the British mostly ignored it. Were all women affected? No, upper caste women were completely exempt. Today, Nangeli lives on in pop culture. In 2017, the movie Army dissected her story. In 2023, a comic book based on her life was released. There are ongoing demand for her statue as well, but it hasn't been built yet. So, what is the lesson? The sacrifice of one woman shook the entire system. Caste oppression was real, and even today the chaos remains. History isn't meant to glorify the past, it meant to teach us. If you are also from Kerala, then tell me in the comments below, did you ever read this in your school books? Probably not, because it's still missing from the syllabi. If the story shocked you, give it a like, share,